It's your girl Princess, and welcome to another episode of CEO Confessions, where we have the no fluff conversation on what it really takes to become an entrepreneur. And I am joined by
Michelle,
Nicki,
and Kaillez.
All right, ladies, we're about to have a conversation about making money online. A statement I hear all the time is, how do I start a business with no money? Is it possible? And how do you go about doing it?
Oh, this is so good. It absolutely is possible, but you have to have a plan. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to sell this new product to the people. I think we're really ambitious when it comes to social media because we know how easy it is to access, but you really do have to have a plan if you want to make money, because not everybody's going to buy something from you. You really have to have a plan, build like, know, and trust. It's not just something you're going to sell a candle or post this candle today and somebody's going to buy it, but you can absolutely make money. I started my business with $0 actually, and what I did is I got a client who I knew would pay me $1,000, and I built from that. So if you have somebody you could reach out to, somebody who knows your business, knows about you, and you can explain your business to them, and they may be a potential client or customer, and build from there. But you can definitely start a business with your laptop. I know we all have iPhones and all these Samsungs that cost $1,200+. Yes. They are tools. Yes. And all you really need is that phone and an idea to really make money online. It sounds so simple, right? But it really can be.
It really is.
Yes, definitely strategizing and utilizing the resources that you already have. If you don't have anything, being realistic, you're going to have to invest at some point. But if you utilize the resources that you already have, like you said, that phone that you spent $1,200 on, make it work. That's your camera right there to record or take pictures until, you decide you want to upgrade. And I always say, don't go to the next big thing until you've profited from what you already have. So if you just spent $1,200, don't go to the next big thing until you double that $1,200, so utilizing what you have, the resources that you have. Maybe you have a friend who has a special, talent or skill that's willing to help you out for, you doing something for them or whatever. Utilize all of that so that you can start your business and help it to profit for yourself.
Yeah, I think being resourceful is really important. And so I started my business with no money. And I would consider myself to be a first generation entrepreneur. I didn't have anybody to call, to reach out to be able to say, hey, you know what, I need to start a business. What do I do? So I started researching. And so I ended up I know I needed to do the LLC paperwork. And so I started researching, and I ended up finding a registered agent that was able to do it for $300. And then I taught myself how to build a website. Because I was like, I ain't got no money to pay somebody to do a website. So I learned how to build my own website. And so I was like, listen, what did the Lord told Moses, use what's in your hand? What's in your hand? And so I really was like, okay, what's in my hand that I can use? And so that's where I started. Now, ultimately, and I think this is a really good point that you just made, what I'm doing now was actually not how I started my business. I started my business life coaching, but I knew where I wanted to go. But the thing is that I had to learn how to be faithful over a few things before I could become a ruler over much. And so I had to learn how to be able to say, you know what, I had to treat that $100 a month paying client. I had to learn how to treat them like they were $1,000 client. I had to learn how to treat that like a $10,000 contract. So for me, I really felt like God was allowing me. I had to prove myself to show that I would be able to manage where it is that I want to be. And so that was me just starting with pretty much nothing and then growing from there. And then also you have to learn how to steward your money.
That's a big one.
You got to learn how to steward. Just because you get it doesn't mean that you need to spend it. A lot of what I made at first went right back into my business. It wasn't going to do shopping sprees and all of those different types of things. I was like, okay, I made this money. And so then I took it and I invested in, I think I ended up finding a class when it came to branding or something like that. So I took that money and I invested it right back into a branding yourself. Class. Yeah. Right. Because what was I trying to do? I'm like, I ain't got no money to pay for nobody for branding. So exactly. I'm going to learn myself. So that was kind of where I started in building.
That's good. So what are great ways someone can start today making money? So just say they're a makeup artist, they could start doing Zoom classes or different things like that. What are some other ways that they could start making money online?
Digital products.
Digital products.
Courses. If you are a makeup artist, just like you said, maybe you can create an ebook to put together for other makeup artists or even your clients to show them how to maybe shop at the drugstore to get beauty products. So it's so many different ways, but I think digital products and courses are a really great way because it doesn't take a lot of
money to get started.
Right, money to get started. But it does, I was going to say effort. Take effort because you got to put it together and market it. I want you to know, like, you can't just create an ebook and say, oh, here's this ebook. You have to market it. But those are some really easy ways. You can even make Canva templates. So, Canva, you can go in there and create your own type of, design and then sell the template as a product.
That's good.
Yes, having those online events or courses are another way. If you can get, if you're a makeup artist, we're using that example, here's a online course on how to do the smoky eye. Sign up for whatever, $10, whatever, So online courses is another tool.
Yeah, I think just finding some way to get yourself out there to really just leverage your business, I think is a great way to start. And so I think that even finding like ideas, sticking with the makeup artist, and so finding ways to be able to, find wholesale vendors. That's like a great tool that a lot of people use, is finding a wholesale vendor and being able to take that product and putting their label, on those products. And so that is, my niece did it. She does lashes, and she found a wholesale vendor where she was able to pay like $200 for like 1,000 lashes, and they put her logo and all of that. And so that's where she started. She got her a backdrop off of Amazon. And so she would get on like every week on social media, and she would teach people how to put lashes on. Like, it was just that simple for her. And she kind of developed a following, and people started, and then the other thing is she was asking people like, what do you want to see? Instead of her trying to create the content for herself, she was like, what do you all want to see? And so then she would take her own money and go buy what they wanted. And then she would create a video, and then that was generating income for her.
That's good. What systems do you guys have in place that has helped you with your business?
Schedules, planners, kind of sticking to that, and what you're not able to do, roll it over into the next day or week or whatever. But for me, that consistency, I'm able to see it in a planner. This is what needs to be done. What I'm not able to get to, I can go ahead and roll it over until tomorrow. But you prioritize on that schedule and planner what needs to be done first in order of, importance.
I think for me, a tool that really has helped me make money online too is a platform called Stan. It's where I keep all of my links in bio. You can, people can buy stuff from you. They can sign up for a call with you. But it also is like a CRM because it then like will tag every single person, what they bought, like if they came in through a specific lead magnet. So that way I can track them. So it's more than just like a tool that's a link in your bio, but it's also helping me build my business because now I can go back and segment those people. Maybe they bought this one masterclass and now I have something else that I could offer them. Now I can segment those people instead of having to like search through my whole database. So that's been a tool that's really been helping me as of lately.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm a planner for sure. And so like I create every Saturday is a planning period for me. Like that's a part of like, I feel like my self-care routine on Saturdays. I get up, make breakfast, do all those things. And then usually like between 11 and 12 o'clock, that's my planning period. And I plan for the next week. Every single day, and I time block everything. Like my hours are timed, and so I don't let people interrupt my schedule. I'd be like, "Why are you calling me at 12 o'clock? You're not on my schedule. I can't answer that. I can't answer the phone." And so I really do stick to my schedule, and I feel like that has helped me really be able to balance and to be able to do things fully. Because when you don't prioritize and you don't plan properly, then I feel like you end up shortchanging certain areas and you don't give 100% everywhere because you're stretching yourself way too thin. And so I've learned how to balance law school. I've learned how to balance running a business, but I would not be able to do that without a planner.
Yeah.
really good.
They come in handy for sure.
Yes.
And I get stickers. Like my like I have stickers and I use certain colors.
You use the Happy Planner?
No, I use the Legend Planner.
Okay.
So if you don't have that, you need to go get your Legend Planner. It is phenomenal. That will get your life together because it has you to write out like 100 bucket list things. It asks you about your relationships every week with people. Like it really is a great self-reflection tool. So it's not even just business related, but it's just like a very holistic planner.
That's good. Creating content is a great way to start bringing in extra income. You can create content for brands, which can pay off big with so many other perks. When creating content for your own brand is what will help you generate sales. What type of content should entrepreneurs be posting today?
Whatever content makes them feel good. I'm so sick of like all these rules. And I'm a marketer. I'm a marketing person. Look, listen, I'm a marketing person. I'm a marketing person, but I feel like we are so like, post this, post about your business, post about this. It overwhelms people and then they don't end up posting. So I think that you should post. Well, you should have a strategy, but I'm just going to say that you should post what makes you feel good. Like, don't feel forced to post on Instagram or any of these platforms that doesn't like make you feel good. I think you need to go within, really think about your business and what the message is that you want to tell to people. And maybe it's not posting on Instagram. Maybe it's you create a podcast to get your message out instead of, because that is still content. I think people just think content is Instagram.
Right.
Content is a podcast. Content is a blog. Content is an event. You can do any of these things. So I think you really have to, number one, go within. Which platforms do you think that will resonate with your audience the best and that you feel really great about posting on? So I'm tired of everybody saying, just post. It's really about, number one, feeling good about what you're posting, but also having a plan too.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Social media was stressful for me when I was on social media. It was very stressful because I was that person of trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to post this week? And then trying to figure out what the caption needed to be, making sure that I had the right hashtags. It was very overwhelming. Like that was a whole process within itself, is trying to create content for a whole week. And I really had to sit back one day and this is how I got off of social media. I was just like, none of my clients are here. Like the people that I'm trying to attract are not on social media. They could be on LinkedIn, but I don't even use LinkedIn either. But I think that was a stress reliever for me, is to realize I don't need this to run my business. But when I was on it, I felt like just colors and all of these other different things. And I think that the biggest thing, so I utilized a scheduler. So that was actually something that did take a lot of stress off, is just creating all of the content at the beginning of the week and then using a scheduler to go ahead and post. Yeah. But other than that, I think, and like you said, maybe social media is not the place. And so I think that for some people, you do need to evaluate to figure out, is this even beneficial?
Yeah, having that passion is going to show, if you're passionate about what you're posting, people are going to feel that, versus if you're just posting because you're in competition with someone else who has more followers. You're not going to get the right people to view it. Everything goes down to their algorithms in the end anyway. You cannot post for a week, but you've been interacting so much elsewhere that when you do post, it becomes the next big thing, so really being strategic in your moves and really honing in on our niche, like we said earlier, finding out specifically what you're trying to do, who your target audience is, get that content made, and then at the right time when you're ready, go ahead and post it, because your work is going to show through that way. Your passion is going to show through. Your authenticity is going to shine through.
I think it should also be about quality, not quantity.
Yes.
That's
yes.
a bar.
Because I'm like, you could post 7 days a week and not be influencing anybody, but you could, but you could post twice a week and have some very impactful posts. And so I think it should always be about quality and not about quantity.
That's good. What should entrepreneurs stop doing when it comes to creating content?
Stop over creating foolishness.
Okay. Straight to it.
Stop just posting a post and posting and ghosting. If you don't utilize Instagram
and engage after you
then
post.
Nobody will look at, they won't engage with you. I think people like, oh, I'm gonna post this and you're gonna go away and do what? Like, if you're not engaging, Social media is supposed to be social for you to be social with people on there. That's what it was made for.
That's
so if you don't
name.
engage, it's kind of like you're like big headed and like, well, I don't need to engage with nobody because people are going to see my stuff. So
don't reply back to comments. And I'm just like, you got all these comments here. You ain't said nothing to nobody, didn't even like, didn't even acknowledge. And then that's going to make them stop engaging with you because they're like, oh, this person doesn't comment back or respond or anything like that.
Right. And I think it goes to just inconsistency. Stop being inconsistent because you can't gain trust with inconsistency. And the biggest thing is, and that's when we talk about developing a brand, is that people have to be able to trust your brand. And if you show up on Monday and then I don't see you for a whole week, I don't trust you. What have you been doing?
And you want my money.
Right, you right. And then the next time you pop up and you like, I just been living my life. And it's just like, I don't know what you have been doing. You could have been somewhere sitting on the side of the street with a hot dog. But I'm supposed to trust you and just join your little your clubs and your teams and your communities. So for me, consistency is important. And if you can't be consistent in that one thing, then I'm questioning, just your consistency in business in general.
Yeah, that's big.
Posting and ghosting.
Not on the side of the road with a hot dog.
I don't know what you doing. I need to know. You show me everything else.
Right.
So I don't know. Sorry.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. How often should we be posting? It's so many theories out here, like 5 times a week, post everything on your stories. That is extremely overwhelming. So what do you guys think?
I'm probably going to get beat up by our marketing friend over here. But I personally believe it depends on where you're at in your business. If you are able to post more than one time a day, great. If you're just starting out and that's not your bread and butter, like do what's realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know you have other obligations and things that need to be taken care of, take care of them and take care of your business as well, but be realistic. Like you don't want to go without just because, you're starting up your business. You have to make what you can until you can make what you want.
Mm-hmm. All right now. Yeah. Get that money, don't let it make you.
I think it depends on your business. And again, I think for me, it's just all about quality over quantity. Because if you're putting up 7 things a week and it's a whole bunch of foolishness, then I think that you should have just stayed off of social media all week instead of just posting anything. But I think if it's something that is going to add value, and I think also looking at like, what is it? So maybe, and do a variety. Maybe one day do a video. Maybe one day just do, a post. Maybe one day do a reel. And I think that also takes the redundancy. And it also, I think, takes the mediocrity out of someone posting, as well, because of the simple fact that it's just like some people do post just to post. And I think people just have to know your schedule. What is realistic for you? And I think that's why some people get discouraged and they get overwhelmed because it's too much. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just like, figure out, what works best for you and be consistent, whatever that means.
That app that you mentioned earlier too is helpful because I was using that at one point too. If you're not a person that's going to be able to be consistently
schedule
posting, then having that content up front loading everything and then uploading it to the app to post, this every Tuesday or every Wednesday or whatever you're comfortable with posting. Having that app or having some sort of resource that will do it for you is beneficial for sure. Because everybody can't honestly sit down and do it consistently because not everybody is able to put into their business full time.
That's good.
Oh, I feel like I was over here choking because I was about to come to this with an answer.
I want to be like, are you okay?
I actually hate that question because it really does depend on like your business. If you're in a launch, if you are doing an event, I don't think there's no real magic time or magic number of posts. Yeah. Like that question, it doesn't make sense to me from the fact of you have to have a marketing plan. Yeah. This month you're marketing your new event. You're marketing the rollout of a new ebook or the rollout of a new program. It's not going to matter if you post 5 times or 7 times. What's going to matter is your message. What's going to matter is the people that are a part of your community. Yeah. But also, like you said, you showing up and being that expert or being relatable, being consistent. Then those people will buy from you. But I don't like I'm going to post 5 times today. I'm doing a
Gotta stop
31-day
listening to
Reels
the
challenge.
gurus.
Yeah, stop listening to the gurus. But I am doing a 31-day Reels challenge to get people to be consistent.
Yeah.
Because that's posting once is more important than you posting 5 times. They might miss that. And like you said, some companies can post 5 times because they have a team. I have a client, we post like 7 times a day, but she has a team.
Yeah.
If you don't have a team, it may not be realistic for you to post 7 times a day. Even if you batch content, that's still like
Still a lot.
so much. So really think about the resources that you have. I always start with your SMART goals because it may be unrealistic for you to post that many times.
And every phase of your business is gonna change that posting as well, because
Require
if you're
something different.
right, if you're starting up, you're being safe, maybe once a week or whatever, because now you're trying to figure out how to do this or how to edit that. But then once you get a little bit more comfortable, okay, now I can do it 2 or 3 times a day. Or if you're promoting something, you're gonna have to post more. It depends on what phase you are in your business as well. So there's no set time on how many times a person should specifically post. It's just where you're at in your business.
Yeah, it's good. What do you do when you have reached that point of content burnout?
Take a break.
Get off social media.
Stop posting.
That's what she's always gonna say.
Yes.
She just left.
You have to take that break, though. You have to prioritize self, because like we said earlier, an empty cup, you can't pour into anything. And if you're burnt out, there's a reason for that. You've put too much out. Now you need to step back so that you can be poured into. You can rest, you can restore, rejuvenate yourself, and then get back out there and, advertise and create your content. But if you don't take that step back, you're going to sound stupid. You're going to be putting out stuff that makes no sense. You're going to make no sense. You're going to look crazy. So take a break. You have to take a break.
Yeah. Self-care. I mean, you have to self-care. But when I think about burnout, I think about compassion fatigue. You can love what you do so much, and you can be so invested in what you do, and you can still get tired. And so sometimes like I had to recognize I wasn't burned out. I was just compassion fatigue. I was so invested, and I get so invested in what I do. So I think that in order to be able to avoid that burnout, like you do have to sometimes just like take a break. And one thing that I did is that if I knew that I was going to take a social media break, I made a post. I just didn't disappear, and everybody's like, okay, well, where is she at? But I would make a post and I would explain, like, you know what, this is a part of running a business, is that you have to self-care. You have to learn how to step away. And so I felt like I used that moment kind of just to teach people like it's okay. Because a lot of people have that fear of missing out, that FOMO. And so that's why they don't want to get off. But it's just like, and so I will tell them, you know what, this is the time I'm getting off, and this is the time that I will be back. My DMs are still open. Slide on in. I will respond that way. So I think that, avoiding the burnout sometimes, can be a way of being able to be burned out. That's fine. But communicate to your audience, what you're doing. Just don't post and ghost, right?
And even if you are in that phase of ghosting or taking your break, I think it's important to realize too that you don't necessarily have to be in front of the camera. Like, you can still very much be present through just a quote, or a post with a recipe that you find interesting, or a repost of something. People don't realize a repost is a post. It's still a post. A repost of something that may have resonated with you, that you feel may be beneficial to your audience. Just because I'm not in front of the camera doesn't mean that, I'm not still here, or I'm not seeing messages or comments that are coming in.
That's real good. So you don't miss social media at all?
Not in the
You don't be dipping back in and
no, you know what? And it has honestly been I'm no joke, it has been the most freeing thing. Like, it's been very liberating, because I don't have to worry about showing up. I don't have to worry about, creating content. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Like, I feel like, because, and it's like, now I realize something when I go out to places and people are taking pictures of the food, and then they're taking pictures of each other, and then they're posting. But I have learned to live in the moment. For this last year, I've learned to just live in the moment. And so when I'm out with someone, I am in present. And it's like, stopping to smell the roses is a very real thing. And so I realized how much of I feel like a distraction it was for me. And then it was, again, a place for me to just unplug. And honestly, I don't miss it. And I think when I got off, I told like people, I was like, okay, I'm getting off. I don't know how long this is going to be, but I genuinely do not foresee myself
I went
getting
looking
back
for
on
you.
social.
I was like, I had to go hit up your
She had
friends.
to find somebody else to
I
come
had to go find
me.
the friends to find her. I was like, where did she go?
I have absolutely loved it. So no, I don't miss it. There is a life without social media.
On the next episode, no. We'll be discussing life after social media. What should we be doing daily to bring in sales?
Have a sales strategy. Really, have a sales strategy. Follow up with clients or people who may not have booked with you. Go back to your roster. I think that people forget about that and they just really do focus on social media, but you've talked to clients, you've talked to people already. Maybe they weren't ready to work with you then, but now you can go back and follow up. I think where a lot of entrepreneurs fail is they don't have a sales strategy. They just have a marketing strategy, but that's not all you should be doing. You should figure out how are you going to make the sales? You know, where are you going to find these people? But a really good strategy to, like, say I need to make $200 today. Okay, you have a $200 call. Now maybe go to somebody who didn't sign up for the call and you know, hey, I noticed that you didn't sign up for the call the last time. You know, I have 2 available. I was wondering, you know, if you're ready to sign up. Maybe they might be ready to sign up today. You never know. So I think a sales strategy is really, really important. Not just posting to social media aimlessly and hoping and praying that somebody's going to buy your product or service.
That's a good point. And I think to what you said is I think having a goal. How much money do you want to make this month? What products do you have in order to make that? Because it's not going to fall out of the sky.
Right.
You know, and I think the other thing is that I think that some people are just expecting people to just have $5,000 up front. Like, if you get the right client and you trust them, let them do a payment plan. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I'm like, do you know how many like top brand companies are taking Afterpay and Klarna? Mm-hmm. Like they is trusting folks. They are trusting people. So I think I've let people do that. When I was doing life coaching courses, I would let people, like, you know, within a 3-month interval, you just had to pay this amount of money, and they always paid. Yeah. And if I didn't, I work with them. So I don't think that there's wrong with meeting people where they are financially to meet your financial goals.
Yeah, I agree. Planning ahead for that sales strategy. If you know that, like you said, you have a $200 goal. All right, if I can't get this $200 call, let me plan ahead. I'm working on this ebook, or I'm working on this next course. Hey, coming in March, I have this going too. Tell your friends. If you tell a friend, you get this. Again, strategy, because you're counting on this person to tell someone so they can get the discounted rate. So that strategy will help if you plan ahead.
That's good. All right. This was another great jam-packed episode. Hopefully you guys have some takeaways that you can start implementing in your day-to-day life or in your business. And we will see you next time. Have a great one. Bye. Bye.